experiment, you need to know the following questions. Firstly, what is transport across the cell membrane? The transport across the cell membrane is when the phospholipid bilayer that makes up the cell membrane decides which molecule can go in or out of the cell. What is a hypotonic solution? A hypotonic solution is when the external environment of the cell has fewer solutes than the inside of the cell. What is a hypertonic solution? A hypertonic solution is when the external environment of the cell has more solutes than the inside of the cell. What are the characteristics of the cell membrane of animal cells? Some of the characteristics are that the membrane holds cell parts together, protects it from the outside environment, regulates entrance and exit of molecules, and it is made up of phospholipids, proteins, and cholesterol. The final thing we need to know is what molecules can pass freely across the cell membrane. Some examples of molecules that can pass freely across the cell membrane are hydrophobic molecules such as carbon dioxide, oxygen, and hydrophilic molecules such as water. Now, let's begin the experiment. This is what you will need. In this project, we use 2 eggs, 500 milliliters of acetic acid, 1 liter bottle, a scale, 2 of 250 and 500 milliliters transparent beakers, 500 milliliters of water, 500 milliliters of corn syrup, a camera for photos or video, and a computer. First, we put the 2 eggs in a 1 liter flask and added vinegar to cover them. They stay like this for 3 days. After 3 days, we remove the eggs from the vinegar and rinse them with water. Then we weighted them and recorded it in the next table. Later, we labeled 2 of 250 to 500 milliliter flasks with numbers 1 and 2. Firstly, we put 1 egg in flask 1 and fill it with water. Then, the other egg in flask 2, we fill it with corn syrup. We made sure both eggs were completely covered with their respective solutions. After that, we let the eggs stay for 8 hours. We took pictures every 2 and 3 hours, observing any changes. After 8 hours, we removed the eggs from their solutions and weighted them, and recorded the weight in the next table. Next, we changed the solution for each egg. We put egg 1 in the hypertonic solution and egg 2 in the hypotonic solution. We let the eggs stay for 8 hours and observed the changes. We took photos every 2 and 3 hours. After 8 hours, we removed the eggs from the solutions and weighted them. We recorded the weight in the next table. We can conclude from the first observations that when a semi-permeable cell, in this case the egg, is in a hypotonic solution, in this case water, water will enter the cell. On the other hand, when the egg is placed in a hypertonic solution, which is corn syrup, water will leave the cell. When the egg is placed in a hypotonic solution, it will gain water and swell. If the amount of water is too much, the egg can explode. When any type of cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, it shrinks because water goes out of the cell.